Hello, I'm Tam, the TamBoTC channel, and I wanted to talk about something very quick. Hopefully it'll go by quick, but also I want to let this be known at the beginning of the video as well, because I've had people bringing up certain terms as well as being rude or using my family against me, which I'm going to say here, I don't care. I've been separated from my family a long time ago. They don't care about me. So you don't really have any ammunition there. And the only person that I did care about is sadly passed away. And also, not only blow, but when you start trying to get at somebody personal, just like I can't remember the YouTuber's name, but somebody else said this as an example. You've already lost the battle when you're trying to target more personal things because you're trying to go deeper and you're being more babyish and pathetic and making childish remarks, which I've had people doing that. I've had long ass messages only from one person, though they still harassed, spoke down to me, which I'm not going to deal with, and I will remove those comments if you try doing that crap. Also, if you're going to use your paragraph-long comments to harass, like call somebody an asshole, basically any kind of slurs or anything that can be contributed as harassing that person or calling that person name-calling, whatever the frick, as well as the whole blue pill, red pill. I had to look this up because I had no clue. Somebody sent a brief message saying you're blue pill confirmed, and I'm just like, what? And I looked it up and was like, of course, it sounds like some conspiracy nut thing. Like, and the most obvious thing is the idea of it comes from the movie that's the most conspiracy nut kind of thing to come from. I mean, it's literally a movie about being in another freaking digital universe. And I kind of wish they went with the idea of being in multiple digital universes, but they didn't and went for the obvious messiah freaking crap. But anyways, like, and once again, I don't think all of Synthetic Man's, and even of the ones I'm going to briefly mention, I've only had 3, though I've seen, of course, like 5 likes on their comments. Sadly, we can't see dislikes, so I don't know how many dislikes, but obviously a bunch of simpers. Simplify, I guess. But him and his freaking gooners. I'm just gonna try and cringe people to death. But this stuff is just like, it reminds me too of like the road, like I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos of road ragers, and it kind of reminds me that these people sound like them, where they will argue and attack you no matter how hard. They will keep coming at you, but there's no point to it. They're being proven wrong in the end, and they're doing awful things in the process, and they get in trouble for it, or they fall just as much. I've also had ironic comments that would try to poke at like how many subscribers I have, yet ironically when I check their channels they don't nearly have as many. It's freaking ridiculous. These people are going to be stopped. Anybody that uses the terms red or blue pillars, which is just the stupidest term ever. And the person that said the blue pillar, like blue pillar alert or whatever the frick, was like the equivalent of, like, if red pillar is meant to be an intelligent and above everybody else, then why did you make the equivalent of a comment that is just, oh, me smart, you dumb? Like, great job. You had that had a lot of effort, didn't it? This short ass comment that's being just as childish and trying to essentially name call, or not name call, but say you're stupid in a completely more ridiculous way. Like, what the frick? And I want to come back, like, I don't think everybody who's a synthetic man is at fault, that there probably will be more of this. I will take care of it. No, because this is in my description, by the way, for my channel. You go to my main channel and it says it. I know you don't want to, but it says in my goddamn description. I'm going to remove your comments. And if you keep doing that, I'm just going to block you from being able to comment anymore. So know that. That can be done, by the way. I've had people ask me about that too. You can do that. I've done it when I've had people harassing me. And especially this one guy that said that he deserved to harass me over a short-ass 30-second clip of Fallout 76 is like, you're like an argument of deserving to be mean to somebody. That's something that just shouldn't exist and is one of the dumbest things I have ever heard of. And now this stuff is up there. It's freaking ridiculous. I also want to make it known I'm not political at all. I've never voted in my life. I don't ever care to. I've never been political. So I like to be neutral. I've talked about that multiple times on my channel. When I see something, I used to believe that woke stuff, but while I don't not believe that there's sometimes woke stuff, but I don't think it's to the extent that some of these people are doing. Like, it's when it starts to get like every single goddamn minute detail almost, and that they can't even describe what woke means. Like, just like what I have to say for my videos, because I had to clarify it several times, where like if people are harassing or being rude in my comments, I feel like I have to clarify multiple times. I think you should be doing the same thing for multiple of your videos, and you're not. You're going about other things that get to the point where it actually crosses that line of actually being racist and sexist, but then you have a way of trying to talk around that in a multitude of different ways. Just because you, and it's just like, just because you word it multiple different ways doesn't mean it doesn't come back to meaning the same goddamn stupid ass thing. You can't just word it differently and have it not mean or come back to bite you in the ass as the same goddamn thing. I don't care who you are or what you think. It's freaking ridiculous. So I don't give a crap about that stuff. Not everybody, I'm saying. And by the way, I've trashed more on Angry Joe than I have Synthetic Man. And Angry Joe, isn't he technically like the opposite side, and even he has trashed him? The problem is Synthetic Man went after Moist Critical. Moist just commented on his stuff. Hell, there are people who made longer videos on him. Like, didn't Moeller do something? And I remember he said, like, he's not even going to pay attention or give Moeller any kind of attention. Like, didn't he say that multiple times to people who have freaking talked about him in the past? And the one time that he crosses that line and has to do the whole tiny dick thing and all that little childish, mediocre crap that he says, and he's technically one at fault. This, like, Moist was probably just going to mention this to his friends there in the podcast, and then it would never become a thing later. It's, if anything, Synthetic Man such has made it a thing because of his retorts and his stupidity towards it. And you can tell he's being so emotional over it and butthurt, just like the people attacking my channel. They wouldn't be commenting the long-ass comments and stuff they are if they weren't butthurt by something. It's freaking ridiculous. Well, I've been butthurt by things, but I feel like I have constructive criticism enough. Like, I'm writing books right now, so why wouldn't I write a paragraph thing? I would probably think too much like a book writer. But nonetheless, it's freaking ridiculous. And I'm going to, like, when it comes to my channel and those people coming over here, I'm putting a stop to it. If that stuff gets out of hand or they're insulting or whatever, I'm putting a stop to it. I don't give a crap. Doesn't matter how many goddamn accounts you make. Just goddamn. And I hope that those people either get help or learn from their mistakes or problems, whether they believe they have them or not. They gotta grow up. When a fictional character in a story can learn from their mistakes better than a real-life person that is doing that crap, you know that's freaking sad. That's ridiculous. That is freaking ridiculous. I've even used that example, too, multiple times. But nonetheless, I wanted to touch on this briefly. The red pill, blue pill thing, that has got to be one of the stupidest things I've ever heard of. And there's some, I've heard some stupid things. I had somebody on freaking Elder Scrolls a long time ago be racist against my fictional goddamn character. Like, what? It's not even a race that exists in real life, too. It's like, what the frick is your problem? this is the next step of stupid. And it comes from a movie that feels like not only are there conspiracy theorists that probably come out of that movie, but have been created because of it too. And even if these aren't entirely attached to that, because they are separate, doesn't matter. It's just ridiculous. It's over the top. Come back to reality, because apparently you're so blinded to the point you blinded yourself to your own blindness, blindception. You're looking in a mirror in your perspective that is clean and fixed and makes you look beautiful, when in real life it is broken and disgusting and makes you look ugly. The real life expectation meme insert here. It's, yeah. What other word is there to say but ridiculous? And that's the brief stuff I'm going to say. Of course, also those comments tried to, like I've already mentioned, try to low blow, like get family stuff. Once again, not going to work. And then make short-ass comments that are ironic and hypocritical and silly to the very thing. And matter of fact, they're doing the exact same thing Moist Critical did in that very moment about Moist Critical. I've also linked those videos, and I might do that in this video as well below, of the people who can probably demonstrate that stuff better than I don't doubt it. They have better editing and stuff. They can talk better than I can, and all sorts of stuff. They know better, and they also have, I didn't really want some of them, but I'm only doing some of their videos. I'm not subscribed to all of them, but I do like the points they make in their videos, and they are very strong, the things they talk about. So I think they do a good job, and whatever I'm able to contribute here. But goddamn, when I think of what I've seen so far of Synthetic Man's Defenders, it just reminds me of those road ragers, god-awful road ragers you watch, and you're just like, God damn, those people are awful. I just want to punch them. You know, that kind of anger that gets over you. And, yeah, it's stupid. But, though, sadly, these do not make me want to punch them. If anything, they're ironic and stupid so far that I've seen, because they have to do the same stuff not only Synthetic Man has done, where they have to poke fun at your personal life stuff and talk down to you, or then stuff like they freaking bring out a freaking short ass message that's meant to say that you're dumb, which you could have just said you're dumb. And it was the equivalent of saying that anyways, like once again saying, haha, you dumb, you spurt. Like, ridiculous. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. I hope that those people do either get help or learn from their mistakes, and whether they believe they have them or not. Don't worry about her. She's got cranberry sauce. That's all that is next to her. And I will see you next time. If you did find something interesting or whatever, and also, if you make comments, make sure they're constructive in a way, even if they're disagreeing with me, constructive in a way that they're not trying to name call or make fun or whatever, because I'm just immediately deleting those comments that do that. Like, if it's just you're casually swearing, but it's not at the person, then that's fine. I'm not saying that swearing doesn't belong here, though I don't know if YouTube censors that stuff. I don't think they do, but if they do, just in case. But nonetheless, yeah, that's all I have to contribute or say. I know I'm probably going to get more messages, more of those people. This is my only other video I'm making on this, and I can be able to tell if you haven't watched my video too, because I've had comments too that clearly you can tell have not watched my goddamn video. But anyways, I will see you next time, and you have a awesome day. Bye-bye!